we had Kendall Moore tight end for us. We knew we were thin on the offensive line, especially at tackle. We moved him to tackle. Then we had some injuries inside, so we asked him if he could try center, and he ended up playing the whole scrimmage today with the twos at the center position, and really he's only done that for 3 or 4 days, so I'm really proud of Kendall Moore. I want to start out that way. Johnny Miller, I think he's fine. Got nicked up a little bit early. They put a knee brace on him, said he was fine, so knock on wood, we're good there. I like the effort of all the kids. It was nice to see some of the players that really hadn't gotten to play until this spring make some plays out there, as well as some of the kids that we expect to have a good fall. George Morris had some nice runs, obviously. I thought Terrell Hunt did a good job taking the one offense and managing some good first downs there. And then I thought Ashton Broyle, Brisley's team, made some good plays. So defensively, I felt bad for the defense a little bit because there was probably some sack opportunities. It would have been big hits in the game, and this place would have been rocking on game day, and that momentum thing could have changed that scoreboard. But I really felt like it was smart that we didn't hit our quarterback, so we went with that. And all in all, 27-34, pretty good spring effort by both sides of the ball. Now we're looking forward to going on the road this May and doing some good recruiting. For the interior guys, hard to tell who played well until you go, watch the videotape. But the skill guys, I thought we made some plays in space, which is one of our goals. Again, looked like that one play Brisley made was really good. It was nice to see. And, just pleased with the kids I mentioned. Brisley caught the one across the middle. I thought that was a good play. Pretty much the guys I mentioned.
Starting your second year, you have a quarterback as number one. Unlike last year, it was kind of up and down. How does that make your job?
Whether it's a quarterback position or some of the other positions, it's always nice to have an incumbent that you feel has continued to grow and mature. Feel that way about Terrell. He's got a good feel for the offense and what we're doing. So it'll be a little bit easier going into fall camp, knowing where your repetitions are. Now, with that being said, I thought Mitch Kimball did a nice job today. I thought A.J. Long did some nice things today. And Austin Wilson threw a nice ball down the middle. So competition's what it's all about. We want to breed that competition, especially with the 2 and 3 positions as you're trying to compete. So it'll be interesting to see how that fight continues forward with the quarterback backup spot with the number 2. So I'm looking forward to seeing that videotape. But I thought those kids did a nice job, all things considered. A.J., he should be getting ready to get his tux for prom right now, and he played a spring game here in Syracuse, so that was good to see. And then Mitch came out, and he missed the first part of spring with his back, got healthy. We kind of threw him to the wolves, maybe 6-7 days or 6-7 practices back, and I thought he did a nice job with that. And then we'll see how Austin comes around. He probably has the strongest arm out of all of them. So great competition with those kids, and I'm looking forward to adding the new recruits as well with Allen and Dwar getting here. I think it's always easier when you can play a real game, so we had to manufacture some things. But the scoring system worked out pretty good. 34-27, that's not too bad. I just hope that the fans had a good time. It's the best part of today is happening right now with the little ones meeting our kids. I think it's just great when the little ones could come up and get an autograph from one of their idols on the Syracuse football team, and it does a lot for our kids too. It really kind of finishes up enriching that community that we really want to build, and we really want our community to say that's our team. And what better way than getting those little kids with them right now.
Back to the quarterbacks, so Terrell is for sure your starting going to Villanova?
Yep, unless someone comes in and plays much better than him. So we'll definitely, Terrell's our number 1 guy right now.
Why did you try to run so many screen passes as opposed to intermediate, deep routes in the passing game?
Well, it's kind of what the defense was giving us. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of checks and adjustments within the framework of our play. Anytime you can throw a 5-yard pass and it turns into a 70-yard gain, that's a great play. Whether it's up in the air for a long time or up in the air for a short time, I don't care as long as the yards are a lot at the end of the game.
Are you happy with how your offense executed?
Yeah, it looked pretty good. I didn't see a whole lot of mistakes. There weren't a lot of flags thrown. I do think that the officials missed one. I think Alex flinched and they should have thrown the flag on him. But other than that, I thought it was a clean game. We didn't do a good enough job last year taking care of the controllable penalties. That's been a focus, and I was pleased to see that the controllable penalties were next to none today. So that was a good, really a good job by the kids playing with some discipline.
Coach, obviously spring game might give too much away or whatever, but the tempo that we saw here, kind of that up-pace stuff, is that a sneak preview of what we're going to see in the fall?
Yeah, we'd like to be able to be up-tempo, but we also need to do a good job being able to play the game at our speed. If we can go fast and move the sticks, we'll do that. If we need to change it up and run 2 and 3 different tempos, that's a good thing too. And I'm looking forward to getting these recruits in here. I think we have a good class coming in. I think we have some more playmakers on both sides of the ball. And I think that'll do nothing but help our depth on this team.
And speaking of the excitement around the program, here in April, 4.5 months out from that opener, we had the announcement this week, spring game today. How cool is it to have all this excitement around the program right now?
It's great. It's fun to be talking about football before we can jump in the swimming pool, and I think that's a good thing. And our kids have really worked their tails off this spring, and I'm really pleased with their development, their maturation as a group. We really left some great seniors. Last night we finished up the spring banquet, and that senior class was a special group of kids. And now the challenge is, can the next group up, carry that torch to a high degree of intensity with a lot of discipline, and I feel like they can. But the challenge is on them right now going into it. But it's exciting to be talking ball right now. Before we really get to the May recruiting period with our coaches. They're about ready to get on the road and do that. So we have a lot of things to work on. Kids will finish up their classes, go home for a couple weeks, and then they'll be back on campus working hard, getting ready for that Villanova kickoff.
What's going to be your main focus with Terrell?
Thanks, Coach.
Before the fall?
My main focus with Terrell will be to continue to just improve with the things that he can, know who he is, know who he isn't, quietly work on the things that are not his strengths, and try to do a good job accentuating his positives and his strengths. A lot of his game is also the ability to run the football, which we didn't want to put him in that position a whole lot, getting hit by our players this spring. So that'll be an added element to what we do this fall. But really just to be who he is and embrace who he is and continue to get better at running this offense.
Scott, all in all, when you look back on this spring, what are you taking away the most from this?
Well, I think it was a good spring. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get to play more live football because we did have a rash of injuries with the offensive line. So I wish we could have done a little bit more competition stuff, live tackling, but it just didn't lend itself to doing that this spring with the injuries. So you adjust to the elements and you move forward. It was nice to see him get almost, I think it was 79 plays. I don't know how many kicks we ended up having. But I thought that there was, some spirited competition. Like I said, I felt bad for the defense because there were a couple opportunities that we would have had some big sacks, and you never know what the heck's going to happen when that quarterback gets blindsided. So I'm sure the defensive coaches are mad that they couldn't just level the quarterback. But a few years ago, I was coaching at another school, and we had to play a fifth-string quarterback for 7 games because we hit them live, and we're never going to do that around here. We'll let the opposition hit our kids.